Welcome, miladies of inestimable value. The soul that sees beauty may sometimes walk alone. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. In a world that glorifies connection and constant socializing, there exists a rare breed of women who dare to walk a different path, alone, but never lonely. These are the Sigma females, enigmatic forces of nature who thrive in the spaces most people fear. Solitude. Did you know that studies have shown people who spend intentional time alone are often more creative, self-reliant, and emotionally resilient? For Sigma females, this isn't just a trait, it's their superpower. What makes their solitude so captivating, and why do they embrace it with such unapologetic passion? Beneath the surface lies a web of fascinating reasons that defy societal norms and expectations. Each moment alone is not a void to be filled, but a sanctuary for growth, strength, and discovery. This is not just a preference. It's a way of life that redefines independence and purpose. Prepare to unravel the profound and surprising truths behind why Sigma females choose to be alone. Number 1. A sanctuary for raw thoughts. Solitude is more than just being alone for a Sigma female. It's a sacred space where her raw thoughts are free to roam without interference. In a world full of constant noise and external opinions, this space becomes her sanctuary. It's here that she explores her deepest truths, unfiltered and untouched by societal expectations. These moments are not just peaceful, they're profoundly transformative. When she's alone, she doesn't have to dilute her thoughts to fit into a conversation or adjust her perspective to avoid conflict. This is the time when her ideas can form authentically, taking shape in their purest form. It's in this solitude that she dares to think about what others avoid, confronts fears most people suppress, and embraces truths that may be uncomfortable. For the Sigma female, being alone means stripping away the layers of pretense that the world often demands. She doesn't need to wear masks or play roles. There's no judgment, no expectation, no need to explain herself. Her thoughts are her own, raw and real, and they guide her toward a deeper understanding of herself and the world around her. This sanctuary also provides clarity. In solitude, she can separate what truly matters from the distractions that others allow to consume them. Her thoughts, no matter how chaotic or unconventional, find a place to unfold and reveal patterns, solutions, or insights that would have been impossible in the presence of others. These raw thoughts fuel her growth and sharpen her authenticity. Alone, she builds a foundation of self-trust, knowing that her decisions and beliefs come from a place of untainted introspection. For her, solitude isn't lonely or isolating. It's a source of power, a space where her truest self is born and refined. Number 2. Freedom to explore the taboo. For a Sigma female, solitude is where her mind is free to wander into the forbidden and the unconventional. It's a space where she isn't afraid to explore the ideas, questions, and concepts that society often shuns or labels as taboo. This freedom isn't about rebellion or shocking others. It's about understanding the world on her own terms without the constraints of social norms or judgment. When she's alone, she dares to ask the questions others avoid. She ponders life's deeper mysteries, unpacks uncomfortable truths, and challenges ideas that have been blindly accepted for generations. There's a quiet fearlessness in the way her mind works, stepping into territories that others might consider dangerous or unnecessary. To her, this is where growth begins, by understanding what lies beneath the surface, even when it's messy or unpolished. Exploring the taboo doesn't mean she agrees with everything she discovers. Instead, it means she's willing to look at all sides of an issue, no matter how controversial or unpopular. She doesn't shy away from the shadows, knowing that avoiding uncomfortable truths only limits her understanding. In solitude, she dissects these complexities, finding pieces of wisdom or clarity that others overlook because they're too busy following the rules. This freedom to explore is what makes her different. It sharpens her perspective, deepens her insights, and allows her to see the world in ways others can't. While society thrives on conformity, she thrives on independence, especially the independence to think for herself. Solitude gives her the time and space to break free from societal molds and create her own understanding of what's real, true, and meaningful. For her, this isn't just a mental exercise, it's a way of life. Number 3. Efficiency in energy conservation. For a Sigma female, being alone is not just about peace, it's about preserving her energy. She understands that every interaction, every conversation, and every engagement comes with a cost. It's not just about time, it's about emotional and mental effort. Solitude becomes her strategy to conserve her energy for what truly matters, instead of wasting it on people or situations that drain her. Unlike most, she doesn't feel the need to constantly explain herself or fit into social expectations. She doesn't entertain meaningless small talk, nor does she indulge in connections that lack depth. For her, these are unnecessary leaks of energy, and she guards her reserves with an unmatched precision. By choosing solitude, she eliminates distractions and focuses on what fuels her growth and purpose. This isn't about being antisocial or avoiding people, it's about being selective. She knows that her energy is finite, and she values it too much to waste on trivial or toxic interactions. Alone, she has the space to recharge, to reflect, and to build herself back up. She uses this time to align her actions with her goals and to reconnect with her inner strength. Her energy is her power, and she doesn't give it away lightly. This careful conservation allows her to show up fully when it truly counts. When she does engage with the world, she does so with intention and impact, not out of obligation or habit. Solitude, for her, isn't a retreat. It's a way of mastering her resources. By conserving her energy, she's able to channel it into the things that truly matter, ensuring that every move she makes is deliberate, effective, and powerful. This is why her solitude is not just a preference, it's her secret weapon. Number 4, the power of undisturbed focus. For a Sigma female, solitude is where her focus reaches its peak. Away from the noise and interruptions of the world, she finds a level of concentration that's almost impossible to achieve in any other setting. This isn't just about being productive, it's about creating an environment where she can dive deeply into what truly matters. In solitude, there are no distractions pulling her attention in different directions. She doesn't have to deal with the endless chatter of others, the constant pings of notifications, or the subtle pressure to engage in conversations she doesn't care for. This quiet space allows her to fully immerse herself in her thoughts, her projects, and her goals. It's where she gets her best work done, where her ideas evolve, and where she gains clarity on her next steps. This undisturbed focus is a superpower in a world that's constantly demanding attention. While others struggle to multitask and juggle endless demands, she uses her alone time to make significant progress in areas that matter to her. Whether it's mastering a skill, solving a complex problem, or planning her next big move, her ability to focus without interruptions gives her an edge. What sets her apart is her discipline. She doesn't need external motivation or deadlines to push her forward. She thrives in the quiet, driven by her own internal goals and vision. Every minute spent in focused solitude is intentional and valuable, bringing her closer to her aspirations. For the Sigma female, solitude isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the foundation of her effectiveness and the key to her success. In this space, she can think deeply, work smart, and achieve results that others can only admire from a distance. Number 5, self-reliance as a lifestyle. For Sigma females, self-reliance isn't just a skill, it's a way of life. Being alone isn't something they resort to when no one else is around. It's a deliberate choice. They've built their lives around the belief that their strength lies within themselves, not in the approval or assistance of others. This mindset gives them a quiet, unshakable confidence that's rare in a world so focused on dependency and validation. They don't wait for anyone to light their path or provide solutions. Whether it's personal goals, career ambitions, or overcoming obstacles, they trust their own abilities to get the job done. Challenges are not something they fear, they're something they face directly, knowing that they have the mental and emotional tools to handle whatever comes their way. This self-reliance doesn't mean they reject help entirely, it means they don't need it. They understand that true independence comes from being able to stand alone, to make decisions without hesitation, and to rely on their own strength when the world turns silent. They take full ownership of their journey, refusing to shift responsibility for their success or their failures onto anyone else. Being self-reliant also gives them freedom. They aren't tied down by the expectations or limitations of others. They can pivot, adapt, and move forward on their terms. Their resilience allows them to thrive in solitude, finding a kind of peace and clarity that others might never experience. This lifestyle isn't easy, but for Sigma females, it's worth it. It's not about rejecting relationships or avoiding connections. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, they can handle life on their own. This mastery of self-sufficiency makes them strong, adaptable, and unshakable in a way few others can match. Number 6. Mental clarity in chaos. For Sigma females, solitude is where they find clarity in a chaotic world. When life is filled with noise, constant demands, conflicting opinions, and unrelenting pressure, it's easy for most people to lose their way. But for Sigma females, being alone is not an escape. It's a method to filter out the distractions and find what truly matters. In solitude, the noise of the world fades, and the distortion caused by external influences disappears. This is when they can sort through the clutter of thoughts, emotions, and expectations, aligning their actions with their core values. They don't get swept away by trends, panic, or the need to conform. Instead, they ground themselves, becoming calm and centered in their own truth. This clarity isn't just a luxury, it's their shield against chaos. While others may crumble under stress or lose themselves in the storm, Sigma females remain steady. Their ability to think clearly allows them to see solutions where others see problems, to stay composed when everyone else is spiraling. It's not that they don't feel pressure, it's that they don't let it control them. Solitude becomes their reset button. It's where they can reevaluate their priorities, fine-tune their goals, and regain focus. This ability to pause, reflect, and realign gives them an edge in both personal and professional life. When chaos strikes, they don't react impulsively or let emotions cloud their judgment. Instead, they act with purpose, cutting through confusion with precision and insight. For a Sigma female, mental clarity is her superpower, and solitude is how she cultivates it. It's what keeps her calm in the storm, decisive in uncertainty, and unshaken no matter how much the world tries to pull her apart. This is how she thrives, even in the midst of chaos. Number 7. A complete ownership of success and failure. For Sigma females, solitude is not just a preference, it's where they learn to take full ownership of their lives. When they succeed, there's no one to share the credit with, and when they fail, there's no one to blame. This raw accountability shapes them into individuals who face life head-on, without excuses or shortcuts. Their successes are deeply personal because they know every ounce of effort, every late night, and every hard decision was their own. They don't rely on others to push them forward or hold them up. Instead, their achievements are a reflection of their discipline, resilience, and vision. They don't need applause or external validation. The satisfaction of knowing they did it on their own terms is more than enough. Failure, too, is something they own completely. They don't deflect, justify, or avoid it. Instead, they see it as a lesson, a chance to recalibrate and come back stronger. Solitude gives them the time and space to reflect honestly on what went wrong without outside voices clouding their judgment. This ability to learn from their mistakes without fear or shame makes them adaptable and relentless in their pursuit of growth. By living this way, Sigma females develop an unshakable sense of self. They don't get caught up in victimhood or entitlement. They understand that their lives are entirely in their hands, and that's a responsibility they embrace fully. This level of accountability isn't for everyone, but for them it's the only way to truly live authentically and achieve lasting success. In solitude, there are no safety nets, no scapegoats, and no illusions. It's just them, their choices, and their outcomes. And that's exactly how they prefer it, because owning their journey, both the triumphs and the trials, is what makes it truly theirs. Number 8. creative dominance. For Sigma females, solitude is the ultimate space for creative dominance. It's not just about being alone, it's about tapping into an energy that's entirely their own. Away from the distractions of the world, they can let their minds roam freely, unburdened by outside opinions, trends, or expectations. This is when their creativity flourishes, unfiltered, unrestrained, and entirely original. Whether they're painting, writing, designing, or solving problems, the act of creation becomes deeply personal. There's no pressure to conform to what's popular or commercially viable. Instead, they let their instincts guide them, trusting in their unique vision and perspective. In these moments of pure focus, they aren't just producing work, they're pushing boundaries. They create something that feels fresh, groundbreaking, and sometimes even ahead of its time. The freedom of being alone allows them to experiment, to fail, and to try again without judgment. The risk of failure is minimized because they aren't seeking approval. They're seeking self-expression. This is what leads to truly innovative work. It's raw, unrefined, and honest. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be real. For Sigma females, the absence of external influence is crucial to unlocking their full creative potential. In solitude, they can explore the depths of their own mind, tapping into their internal wellspring of ideas without interruption. This is when they're able to innovate and create at their highest level, producing work that resonates deeply with those who experience it. In their alone time, they are more than just creators, they are visionaries. Solitude doesn't stifle them, it unleashes their genius, allowing them to produce work that's not just excellent, but revolutionary. Number 9. Refinement of Selective Socialization. Sigma females are not antisocial, but they approach relationships with a level of discernment that's rare in today's world. They don't waste time on shallow connections or superficial friendships. Instead, they've mastered the art of selective socialization, understanding that not all relationships are worth their energy. For them, being alone isn't a sign of isolation. It's a deliberate space where they can reflect on who truly adds value to their lives. In their solitude, they assess their relationships, considering who elevates them and who drains them. They don't simply collect people for the sake of having a social circle. They choose connections based on authenticity, trust, and mutual respect. The Sigma female understands that time is limited, and she doesn't want to waste it on people who aren't aligned with her values or who don't contribute positively to her life. This selective approach makes their social circle small, but incredibly meaningful. They don't feel the need to surround themselves with countless acquaintances or attend every social event. Instead, they focus on the few who matter, those who bring depth to their life and with whom they can form genuine, lasting bonds. For Sigma females, these rare connections are a source of strength and inspiration. In a world that often pressures people to be constantly social and connected, Sigma females stand apart. They've refined the art of saying no to the noise of shallow relationships and yes to the rare few who truly understand and support them. This quality is what makes their social life unique. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. Number 10. A quiet defiance against society's expectations. Sigma females stand as quiet rebels in a world that constantly tells women to be accommodating, social, and endlessly available. Society often expects women to seek approval, to conform to roles that are prescribed for them, and to show up for others at the expense of their own needs. But for Sigma females, these expectations are nothing more than noise they refuse to be part of. Their choice to embrace solitude isn't a sign of weakness or loneliness. It's a powerful, silent act of defiance. They don't need validation from anyone to feel complete or worthy. Where others might feel pressure to perform or fit into prescribed social molds, Sigma females simply opt out. They aren't afraid to reject what doesn't align with their values or purpose, and they do so without the need for explanation or justification. In the solitude they cultivate, Sigma females find freedom, not just freedom from others, but freedom from the suffocating demands of societal expectations. They've learned that thriving doesn't depend on meeting external standards. It's not about being liked by everyone or fitting in with what's trendy. It's about following their own path, regardless of what the world may think. This subtle rebellion isn't loud or attention-grabbing, it's quiet and resolute. Sigma females don't need to announce their defiance. They live it every day by being unapologetically themselves. Their ability to thrive without needing external validation is a testament to their strength and independence. In a world that tells them they should constantly be in motion, seeking approval or recognition, they choose to stand still, centered in their own power. This quiet defiance is their strength, and it's what allows them to thrive in a world that often doesn't understand them. In the end, Sigma females stand as a testament to the power of independence, self-awareness, and authenticity. Their love for solitude is not a reflection of isolation, but a deliberate choice to craft lives on their own terms. They reject the world's expectations, embracing their solitude as a space where they can explore, create, and grow without the distractions of external validation. In this quiet, unspoken rebellion, they find strength, not from the approval of others, but from the deep connection to themselves. Their ability to take full ownership of their success and failure, to shape their relationships with precision, and to navigate life's chaos with clarity is what sets them apart. They don't need the validation of others to define their worth, and in this, they find a rare freedom that many never experience. The solitude they cherish is not a sign of vulnerability. It is a quiet revolution, a way of living that allows them to thrive in ways the world can't fully comprehend. In their world, it's not about fitting in. It's about standing firm in their own power, creating without boundaries, and living with an uncompromising sense of self. Sigma females prove that to truly thrive, sometimes you need to step away from the noise, embrace your own company, and trust that in solitude you will find everything you need to become who you were always meant to be. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment below, and share it with anyone who needs to hear this. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on more content that empowers and inspires. Your support means the world, and I appreciate you being here. Stay true to yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, my ladies. See you in the next video. Bye for now, and God bless.